99% of celebrities are often known for keeping their cool and staying professional, even when faced with invasive or downright disrespectful questions. But every now and then, a star gets pushed too far. Today, we're diving into those unforgettable moments when famous celebrities shut down disrespectful interviewers right in the middle of an interview. Kicking off our list is Denzel Washington. When a reporter pressed Denzel about his voting choice, hoping to catch him off guard, he delivered a response that left everyone talking.
Who you wound up supporting in the election, presidential election?
None of your business.
None of my business?
None of your business.
Well, I'm only asking because the story was online, but that's okay.
Huh?
Let me ask you this. What issue do you hope President-elect Trump tackles? What's number one in your mind with the new administration?
In that moment, Denzel not only asserted his right to privacy, but also reinforced the idea that celebrities are more than just public figures. They're individuals with personal choices that also deserve respect. Next up is the one and only Mike Tyson, a champion in and out of the ring, known for his fierce presence and unfiltered honesty. In a recent interview with a Sky News reporter, Mike Tyson faced a question that took the conversation down a tense path, one that turned heated faster than anyone could have anticipated. It all began when the interviewer asked Mike whether he really meant some of the controversial statements he made about his opponents before fights. And it seemed Tyson didn't really have a problem with the question, just the fact that the interviewer was referring to an incident that happened more than 2 decades ago.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of, you said things like before fights about your opponents. I want to punch him on the tip of the nose to drive the bone up through his brain.
You know what, can I tell you something? I was a young kid then. Yeah. I'm 43 years old, right? You're still dwelling on something I said at 20 years old, or 21 years old, or 19 years old. I'm 43. What do you want to get from this interview?
I want to see how much
you've
you've changed, Mike. You're a different person now, aren't you?
You're irritating me now. I guess I did change because I'm not assailing you, but you're irritating me right now because I feel that you're evoking stuff from the past. That stuff is 15, 20 years ago.
But has it not made you the man you are now?
No, it didn't make me. It's just parts of life. I don't want to upset you. I don't want to upset nobody. I just stay pretty much isolated from society now.
In 1999, Mike Tyson had just secured a fierce victory over his opponent, Francois Botha. Like any boxer, Tyson was mentally prepared for the battle, and as the week leading up to the fight unfolded, he became more and more focused, honing his aggression, ready to dominate his opponent, which he did. But just after his win, when Tyson's energy was still high and emotions were raw, a CNN reporter decided to push his limits with Tyson still in fight mode. The interviewer's timing couldn't have been worse.
Mike, Francois Botha, 6-1 underdog. Are there any concerns on your part?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do.
How about
kill this mother?
Okay. How about the 19 months off?
What about it? What about it?
Does it pose any problem to you?
We'll see. I doubt it seriously.
You take into the ring a lot of rage. Does that work for you, or does it work against you at times?
You know, who cares? We're in a fight anyway. What does it matter?
Well, for example, rage against Evander Holyfield worked against you.
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
Like that wasn't intense. Although he's not a celebrity, billionaire Elon Musk has proven to be a savage when it comes to dealing with dumb and woke interviewers. About 7 months ago, Elon Musk had an interview with Don Lemon, who did something so inappropriate to Elon Musk, he had to end the interview. But before he came to his painful moment, Don Lemon had stacked up a series of questions which built up tension between him and the billionaire Elon Musk.
You think that society blames everything on racism now?
He knocked down that guy without even laying a single punch. That's crazy. He's gone from his fists to using his words to knock people out.
Yeah.
Well done.
Why?
While Mike calmly put this
get
disrespectful
away from making
interviewer
everything
in his
a
place,
race or a
the
gender
truth
or
is,
whatever
he
issue.
wasn't always like this.
And just treat people like individuals.
I've had incredible opportunities as a person of color.
Right.
But I've also been
very well.
But I've also been discriminated against, and I know that I have. And I know that that's real. And for someone to say that that isn't happening, I should just move forward and not think about that and ignore the past is insulting.
I'm not saying it. Don, you keep putting words in my mouth. I'm not saying it's
I didn't say that you said it.
I'm saying that we want to. We as a country should move beyond questions of race and gender, and we should treat people like individuals and base our opinions on them on the, you know, their character and their skills.
Okay.
And we've got a little bit more time, so you choose your question.
Okay,
carefully.
so
We all know society is getting creepier and creepier every single day with the whole issue of woke culture and gender identity politics. But it seems Don has a completely different idea on that. The conversation started to take a massive turn when Elon realized Don was twisting every single word he said.
let's talk now about SpaceX, Tesla. You got a lot of lawsuits. You've got X.com. You got a lot going on. How do you relax?
Well, I relax. I spend time with my kids, my friends, and I, think somewhat of a nerd technologist. I like playing video games. So I'll play video games with friends online.
Which one?
Lately, I've been playing Diablo, but I've played almost all the games over the years.
Listen, I'm not asking you anything that anyone else hasn't asked you about your controversial stuff that you tweet. You post a lot of controversial stuff. Is that considered blowing off steam?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is to some degree, not always. I mean, obviously I use it for, to post jokes, to post, sometimes trivia, sometimes things that are of great importance.
So you do a lot of it at night, like late at night. So when you're doing this, are you sober when you do it?
Almost
Are
always,
you
yes.
under the influence of anything?
No, I don't drink. I don't really. No.
So you got no drink, no smoke, no nothing. I mean, you smoke pot with Rogan.
I had one puff.
Yeah.
I think anyone who smokes pot can tell I don't know how to smoke pot.
But you've admitted that you have a ketamine prescription.
Yeah.
What's that for?
Well, I mean, it's pretty private to ask somebody about a medical prescription,
Now, if you have followed Don for a while, you wouldn't be surprised to hear him try to get to a conclusion that doesn't exist. Meanwhile, Elon Musk was preparing to give him a single statement that will later go on to be the most savage moments in history.
All this controversy, I believe, as you know, has made X less appealing to advertisers. About half of them have left the platform. You've even gone as far as saying it publicly that they can go F themselves or go fuck themselves.
If they're going to force censorship on the company before advertising, then obviously I find that unacceptable.
So you said if they kill the company, it's them. But doesn't the buck stop with you?
I acquired X in order to preserve freedom of speech in America, the First Amendment. And I'm going to stick to that. And if that means making less money, so be it. Don, I have to say, choose your question carefully. There's 5 minutes left.
Okay, but so...
Is this the question you want to ask?
Listen, I'm just being honest, right? I'm not trying to, get you or anything. I was just surprised that you would blame other people for killing the company. I mean, you're the...
I think you...
And I'm not trying to upset you.
Well, you are upsetting me because the way you're phrasing the questions, I think, is not cogent.
It's not what?
Not cogent. There are 1 or 2 questions I can do, and then we'll have to call it.
Okay, again, I don't mean to upset you. Why are you just...
No, I have a whole room full of people waiting to meet with me.
Is there anything that you would change about anything that you've done in your life, in the past or recently?
I've made many mistakes over the years. If I had a time machine, I'd go back and fix them, but I don't have a time machine.
The alternative title of this video should be How to Ruin Your Own Career While Trying to Ruin Someone Else's. Elon Musk, I prefer cats to dogs. Lemon, so you are saying all dogs are evil? While it took Elon Musk more than an hour to handle this annoying interviewer, we can't say the same for Tom Cruise, who put a disgusting interviewer right in his place for digging into his personal life.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. I mean, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question? She's someone that I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
I suppose they're questions
Peter,
that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay. So I'm just telling you right now, okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologise for that sincerely.
While this interviewer quickly apologized for his silly behavior, news anchor Matt Lauer didn't know when to stop. In a memorable 2005 interview on The Today Show, Tom Cruise took it to the next level when Matt Lauer pressed him on some controversial views. What started as a simple interview quickly became a powerful exchange, with Cruise taking control of the conversation and challenging Lauer in a way that left everyone stunned. Pretty ballsy of Don to leave the comments turned on.
Where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses, of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs.
It's kind of sad, but that's pretty much how the entire conversation went.
Do you know now that Ritalin is a street drug? Do you understand that?
The difference is this was not against her will, though. But this wasn't against Brooke's will.
Matt, I'm asking you a question.
I understand there's abuse of all of these things.
No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do.
Aren't there examples, and might not Brooke Shields be an example of someone who benefited from one of those drugs?
All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem. That's what it does. That's all it does. You're not getting to the reason why. There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance.
So postpartum depression to you is
Matt,
kind of a little psychological gobbledygook?
No, I did not say that.
I'm just asking, what would you call it?
Matt, that is the post. Now you're talking about two different things.
But that's what she went on the antidepressant for.
But what happens, the antidepressant, all it does is mask the problem. There's ways of vitamins and through exercise and various things. I'm not saying that that isn't real. That's not what I'm saying. That's an alteration of what I'm saying. I'm saying that drugs aren't the answer, that these drugs are very dangerous. They're mind-altering, antipsychotic drugs. And there are ways of doing it without that so that we don't end up in a brave new world. The thing that I'm saying about Brooke is that there's misinformation, okay? And she doesn't understand the history of psychiatry. She doesn't understand in the same way that you don't understand it, man.
But a little bit what you're saying, Tom, is you say you want people to do well, but you want them to do well by taking the road that you approve of, as opposed to a road that may work for them.
No, I'm not.
Well, if antidepressants work for Brooke Shields, why isn't that okay?
I disagree with it. And I think that there's a higher and better quality of life. And I think that promoting, for me personally, see, you're saying, what, I can't discuss what I want to discuss?
No, you absolutely can.
But Matt, you're going in and saying that I can't discuss that.
I'm only asking, isn't there a possibility that, do you examine the possibility that these things do work for some people? That yes, there are abuses, and yes, maybe they've gone too far in certain areas. Maybe there are too many kids on Ritalin. Maybe electric shock.
Too many kids on Ritalin, Matt.
I'm just saying, but aren't there examples where it works?
Matt, you don't even, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. If you start talking about chemical imbalance, you have to evaluate and read the research papers on how they came up with these theories, Matt. Okay, that's what I've done. And you go and you say, where's the medical test? Where's the blood test that says how much Ritalin you're supposed to get?
It's very impressive to listen to you, because clearly you've done the homework and you know the subject.
And you should. And you should do that also, because just knowing people who are on Ritalin isn't enough. You should be a little bit more responsible in knowing
I'm not prescribing Ritalin, Tom, and I'm not asking anyone else to do it.
Well, you are. You're saying no.
I know some people who seem to have been helped by it.
But it's like, this is a very important issue.
This is couldn't agree more.
And you know what? And you're here on the Today Show,
right?
And to talk about it in a way of saying, well, isn't it okay, and being reasonable about it when you don't know, and I do. I think that you should be a little bit more responsible in knowing what it is, because you communicate to people.
Every celebrity has had to face their fair share of frustrating, even downright disrespectful questions from reporters, and Jonah Hill is no exception. Known for his comedic chops and versatility, Hill has endured countless interviews where the line between curiosity and rudeness was completely crossed. Over the years, Jonah has been typecast as the funny, overweight guy, until a few years ago when he made a transformation that broke the internet. While most people are happy for him and have in fact developed a much more respect for him, this interviewer couldn't resist dredging up old stereotypes which the actor didn't take lightly.
Are you the fat guy in Hollywood still, or is everybody like look at you and they're like, oh wow, this is great, now you're healthy?
Do you have any other questions that are smart?
Although Jonah's style of brushing off outright stupid questions works very well for him, the same can't be said for everyone. Some stars are literally not impressed by meaningless debates that goes nowhere. Take, for example, the legendary actor Harrison Ford, who played Han Solo in Star Wars. Known for his no-nonsense attitude, he was once asked a question that die-hard fans have argued over for years. Did Han shoot Greedo first, or did Greedo shoot him?
You shoot Greedo first, or did Greedo shoot you first?
I don't care.
But I don't think it will match up with what DJ Khaled said when he was asked how many chicken nuggets he eats.
Jordan, those are those new ones. Get that one-on-one, Hugo, custom-made shot for Hugo.
If someone put a gun to your head, how many chicken McNuggets could you eat? Eat for your life.
Don't ever disrespect yourself like that.
Okay.
As of 2024, it has been 12 years since the release of the first movie in the Avengers series. Throughout those amazing years, these actors have received their fair bit of questions that turn out to be complete garbage. During one of their many promotional interviews, Black Widow star Scarlett Johansson was asked about something that wasn't quite relevant to her incredible performance in the movie.
And to Scarlett, to get into the shape of Black Widow, did you have anything special to do in terms of the diet? Like you have to eat some specific food or that sort of thing?
If I've learned anything, it's that people are much more interested in your second question to Scarlett than any answer I can give to mine.
By now, it's probably clear to you that Robert Downey Jr., popularly known as Iron Man, has zero tolerance to dumb questions. This is because in another interview with journalist Krishnan Guru Murphy, the Iron Man actor did something that everyone applauded him for after the journalist asked him a series of inappropriate questions that built a massive tension between the two.
The statement sort of stands by itself, doesn't it? I mean, does that mean you're not a liberal, or that you came out of prison not being a liberal?
Are we promoting a movie?
Well, okay, well then let me just ask you a few more questions and you can answer them if you want to and not if you don't want to. I mean, well, I think we've got 3 more minutes on our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
You know, the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether, you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
I mean,
okay. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Are you... I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you...
You seem okay, it's just getting a little dinosaur in your...
No, look, I don't want to do that.
Thank you.
Well, I definitely don't know about you, but this feels like an interrogation to me. I didn't really get the full picture here until I did some digging and discovered that in the late 90s and early 2000s, Robert Downey Jr. was arrested for some drug issues. But the thing is, this happened way before he became a global superstar in the Iron Man and Avengers movies in 2008. By the time the 2008 interview with Krishnan Guru Murthy occurred, it had been 8 good years since Downey had turned his life around and was on the verge of his career's most successful phase. But it seemed Krishnan didn't want to let go of the past, and for that, he was humbled, or should I say humiliated, by filmmaker Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino is an American filmmaker known for his distinctive and highly intense style that often combines dark humor, nonlinear storytelling, and intense violence.
People like watching violent movies. People who are not violent people or twisted people in any way, but why it's okay to go into a movie and enjoy the violence.
Yeah, well, it's a movie. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. It's not real life. It's a fantasy. You go and you watch, you watch a kung fu movie and one guy takes on 100 people in a restaurant. That's fun.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You
I'm
can't
just-
make me dance to your tune.
I'm
not a monkey.
I can't make you answer anything. I'm asking you interesting questions.
And I'm saying I refuse.
Okay. Well, no, I was just asking you why. That's fine. But you see, Jamie Foxx has said we can't turn our back and say that violence in films
Well,
or
then you
anything
should talk
that
to
we
Jamie
do
Foxx.
doesn't have a
Then you
source of
should talk to
influence.
Jamie Foxx about that. And I think he's actually here, so you can.
I'd love to, but I mean, you know, it's interesting that you have a different view, and I'm just trying to explore that.
Yeah, and I don't want to. Because
mean-
I'm here to sell my movie. This is a commercial for the movie. Make no mistake.
Well, you
And
have
I-
views.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So you don't want to talk about anything serious.
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the implications of violence. I haven't wanted. Because the reason I don't want to talk about it because I've said everything I have to say about it. If anyone cares what I have to say about it, they can Google me and they can look for 20 years what I have to say about it. I haven't changed my opinion one iota.
No, but you haven't fleshed it out. That's the only reason.
It's not my job to flesh it out.
No, it's my job to try and ask you to.
And
That's
I'm
all,
shutting your butt down.
And that's entirely your
This
your,
is a
your
commercial
right.
from my movie.
While this might seem like too much, it's not even close to what Celine Dion did to Ellen DeGeneres at her own show. So back in 2007, when Celine Dion was promoting one of her albums, she happened to appear on the Ellen DeGeneres show. A conversation which started with laughter and excitement almost took a crazy, unexpected turn when Ellen tried to embarrass Celine on live TV.
All right, well, it seems like you're busy with something because you're forgetting to cut your son's hair. Look at him. He is beautiful, but look at his hair. When are you going to cut that hair?
Do you have a problem with that?
No, I don't have a problem. That is some long hair.
It's amazing, right? You cut some people shave the head of their children. And people say, oh, isn't that terrible? Well, I don't even cut my son's hair, and they say, oh my God, when is she gonna cut her son's hair?
Right.
You know? Whatever I will do, I won't please everyone.
While Celine Dion's blunt approach was highly effective for shutting Ellen down, at least for the rest of the show, actor Kevin Hart used quite a different technique when he faced a similar situation.
Why don't you just admit to the public and to America that you got that from listening to me? Because that's what I've been saying all week.
Well, Stephen, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to admit is that you need the rest of your mustache back. That's what I'm going to admit. Okay, that's what I'm going to admit. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did up here. Well, listen, I don't know what he did up there, but I want you to grow the rest of that. There's too much space in between here. That's the first thing.
I've seen your new show where you sit in the hot tub. Your body ain't that good when you can just walk around without your shirt off.
First of all,
you to know
if
that.
we're ever going to talk about bodies, I want you not to be the one to bring that conversation up. All right? If you don't get out of here shaped like a beanbag that got sand in it.
If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.